A very popular real estate investing strategy is the BRRRR strategy: buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. But there's more to the strategy than just building your real estate portfolio. We're going to explore the tax benefits that come along with it and why it might make sense to BRRRR in 2024. Hey, BiggerPockets, I'm Amanda Han, CPA.
And I'm Matt McFarland, CPA.
And let's get into it. Besides being CPAs, we are also real estate investors ourselves.
Yeah, we like to call ourselves CPAs by day and real estate investors by night.
Yeah, so we're going to dive into some of the benefits of investing using the BRRRR strategy. We'll talk about how each of those letters actually results in tax savings and more money in your pocket. So let's start with B, which is buy real estate.
Yeah, I mean, when we buy real estate, I think the thing that comes to mind from a tax perspective is depreciation, right? It's one of our biggest benefits, our favorite benefits of being real estate investors and talking from a tax strategy. I mean, basically the IRS is letting us take a write-off for a part of our purchase price every year. And you don't really get to do that with many other asset classes that I can think of.
Yeah, and on the buy side, our depreciation calculation is actually the purchase price of a building, regardless of how much money you're putting down. So you might be buying a property with 3% down or even no money down, you still get to take advantage of depreciation. All right, let's go to the next letter in the BRRRR process, which is rehab. What are some of the benefits of rehabbing a property?
Yeah, anytime we rehab a property, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for either deducting expenses right away for the repairs or maybe you have to capitalize them. But again, if you have to capitalize them, you get to depreciate them. And a lot of times you can take accelerated depreciation. So it's a really great way when you're improving the value of your property through rehabbing it that you're getting significant tax deductions along the way as well.
All right, next letter R is rent. When we rent out our rental property, this opens up the doors to a lot of different tax savings. As a landlord, we're also a business owner in the eyes of the IRS, which means that we are now able to take advantage of a bunch of different write-offs to offset that rental income. So that could include writing off all of our rental-related expenses like mortgage interest, property taxes, but also non-real estate specific expenses like maybe your BiggerPockets membership, or you going to a BiggerPockets conference, or you may be taking your CPAs out to have some drinks and discuss your tax strategy.
Just as a simple example.
All right, next is refinance.
When we're refinancing a property, the property's gone up in value, we're taking out the equity. Obviously, with the goal is to use that equity, go out and buy more real estate. So when we do get the refi, that's totally tax-free money to us, right? It's just a loan that you have to repay at some point in time. So you don't have to pay tax on it right now. And you can put that money to use. And when you are borrowing that money, if you are using it to go out and buy more rental properties, that interest is going to be deductible against those additional rental properties. So it's really a win-win.
Yeah, very amazing. The last R, of course, is repeat. And basically, now you saw all the different process of how you actually save money and save taxes using real estate. You do it over and over again. So one example is, let's say you bought a rental property, you're able to use all these strategies like depreciation, write-offs, refinance to pull out more money, and then you put that same taxes saved into more real estate, you get to generate those savings again and again.
Yeah, I mean, anytime where, you can repeat, maybe you are buying another property, maybe you're selling your existing property and buying another property. When you do that, you can get beneficial capital gains tax rates, which can be lower than, your normal ordinary tax rates. That can be a win. There's ways you can sell the asset and not pay any taxes through like 1031 exchanges. There's ways you can sell the property and do seller financing for the buyer and defer paying taxes. So there's a lot of strategies available to you on the exit strategy, right? That can be really beneficial from a tax perspective.
When we talk about tax savings, to kind of debunk a myth that people typically think about when it comes to tax brackets, I think we often meet investors who say, hey, I don't want to make more money because when I make more money, that's going to push me into the next tax bracket. I'm going to just all of a sudden pay a ton in taxes.
Things to remember, obviously, in the United States, we have a tiered tax structure. So that means that, your first X amount of money is taxed at, let's say, 10%. And then once you get into the next bracket, that first group of money is still only taxed at 10%, but the next dollar is taxed at 12%. And then when you get in the next bracket, the next chunk of money is taxed at the next bracket. So it's not, again, if you hear somebody say, oh, I'm in the 35% tax bracket, that doesn't mean every dollar is taxed at 35%. It means some's at 10, some's at 12, and so on. It just means the next dollar is taxed at 35%. So, but that is important to understand because that does dictate in terms of deductions, depreciation, operating expenses, what have you, where that's going to save you. So we're talking about ordinary rates. If you're saving at 35%, that's great. When you go and sell a property, capital gains rates, you may only pay tax at 15 or 20% on the back end. I mean, that is a win-win.
Yeah. So please don't be one of those people that fall into this wrong narrative of I don't want to make more money because I don't want to pay more taxes.
Remember, your tax bracket is not 100%.
Yeah. So you always want to make more money, and whether it's from your business or your job or rental real estate. So there you have it. We talked about a lot of the benefits of the BRRRR strategy, right? Buy for depreciation, rehab, and capture all those rehab costs. Rent it out. Make sure to claim your expenses against the rental income, and refinance to pull all that money out to reinvest into real estate without paying taxes.
And don't forget the repeats.
And repeat, right? Keep doing it over and over again to scale and build your portfolio.
And get all the R's.
Yes, build your portfolio. I was missing the R. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I am Amanda Han, and our firm is called Keystone CPA, where you can get a lot of free resources. And the best place to find me for daily tax tips is on Instagram as Amanda Han CPA. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe to the BiggerPockets channel for more videos just like this, or go to BiggerPockets.com and check out all of the amazing tools they have for new investors. And if you have any questions on the tax stuff we talked about, make sure to drop all your comments and questions below. Have a good one.